News coming in this morning. Cops attempt to disperse protesters at Marina Beach and cordon off the entire area. Protesters seek time to analyze the ordinance before calling off the demonstration. These are people who have still chosen to be at Marina Beach till the time there is a legalization of Jallikattu via an order from the assembly as well. Going across to my colleague Rohini, we're getting these visuals right now. How cops are now asking protesters to leave, but they're adamant. They want that there should be an order passed by the assembly. How many protesters are we looking at who are still at Marina Beach?
See, we're looking at close to 2,000 to 3,000 protesters, and the point is that we have seen over a few days now that the Jallikattu protesters have been staying day and day out at the Marina Beach. But as we speak right now, the police are clearing off the area in Marina Beach, and this is also in view of the Republic Day celebrations that are expected in the next 48 hours. They need at least 48 hours to sanitize the entire area. Now, what we also now understand is that they are looking for a permanent ordinance. They're saying that this particular ordinance is just a temporary one. So the Chief Minister, Mr. O. Paneerselvam, has convinced that this is with the acceptance of the Prime Minister that they will look at moving for a permanent ordinance. But at this point of time, one group of protesters leaving on their own, but the other group saying that they will stay on till they understand the entire ordinance or they will not leave the place. It's a tough job because 7,000 police personnel have been deployed in Marina Beach itself, but they're only hoping the fact that the police do not have to resort to any kind of lathi charges to clear the area, but they have been asking people to clear as soon as possible for the Republic Day celebration.
Okay, but what are these protesters demand till now, Rohini? Because now the Jallikattu was held over the weekend after an ordinance. What do they actually want?
See, they want a permanent solution to Jallikattu. They do not want a temporary solution like a state ordinance. They want it passed in the parliament for the simple reason they say that this is about Tamil pride and this is something where they will ensure that nothing happens to animals. There's no cruelty to animals associated. But yes, at this point of time, when we're looking at the demands that they're putting forward, they're saying one, they need to understand the ordinance, whether it is a permanent solution or not. And secondly, they also want to know whether the government, that is the central government, will intervene, and maybe the Supreme Court does put a ban on it, then what happens to the entire process of Jallikattu?
Well, they've been camping there for over a week now. Rohini, be with me. My colleague Ashish also joining us. Ashish, can you tell us that how many cops are present on the ground? Because the visuals that are coming in now seem that there has been an entire force that's been deployed to ensure that Marina Beach is vacated.
Yes, Devina. Right now, we just spoke to Chennai police officials, and they have confirmed that they have started evacuating the protesters from the protest venue from Marina side. Basically, they are saying they are giving the reason that since from today the state assembly is meeting, and that state assembly is a few kilometers away from the protest side, and there's 144 section 144 is enforced. That's why they are removing all these protesters from the protest venue. Meanwhile, police has confirmed that they are not using any kind of force. They are only requesting the youth and youngsters who are gathered there at Marina to vacate the place, citing the reason, citing the law that is section 144 enforced. That's why they are removing. They are being removed from the spot. This is what Chennai police is saying. But meanwhile, we can say yes, almost over 200 police personnel, including senior cops of the city, they are present at the venue, and without using excessive force, they are trying to remove all those protesters from the protest venue. It is important here that today the state assembly is meeting. State assembly is most likely.
But protesters are not willing to leave, Ashish, from the visuals that we can see. Even as an entire contingent of around 200 police force are there or on the ground, you can see that they are trying to remove protesters who are still adamant on sitting at Marina Beach till the time there is a permanent solution. Now, Rohini, this protest has been praised for the extraordinary calm because the citizens protested peacefully. Do we see them irked by the pressure from the cops this morning?
Well, they are trying their best in terms of the police personnel to try and convince them that they need to vacate the area. But yes, it could possibly lead, because we have seen, like you said, that these protests have been largely quiet, and they have been trying to show and put pressure on the state government, which they managed to do. But now they're also being told, and what I've given to understand is the people who are leading the Jallikattu agitation from Marina Beach also are now looking at withdrawing from the agitation for the simple reason. One is that they're also seeing how other groups are taking advantage of the situation and trying to create a law and order situation. And keeping that in mind, and also briefings from the police, they will be possibly withdrawing their protests very soon. But at the very same time, the police also are ensuring that people are convinced before they leave, and that is why they're not resorting to any kind of violence.
But Rohini, I want to also point out now that they're asking for a permanent solution for Jallikattu. Now, these protests had many other groups coming together. Many of them took issues from Kaveri water to even the GST and even the farmer suicide. And there are these host of issues that have come together. And Marina Beach became this epicenter of civil movement activism that we've seen. Even as the cops are trying to vacate these protesters, these issues will stay alive. So do we see now a trend of such kind of civil movements at Marina Beach?
We are looking at that because this was a good platform and a way to also show to the world and to the country that they can bring about issues and bring focus to issues without resorting to violence. We saw the kind of unity that was seen on the Marina Beach with people standing there, and like you said, issues related to the Kaveri water, related to farmer suicides, all that starts mixing up with the entire issue. But right now the focus is being brought back to the Jallikattu, a permanent solution, and that is what Open Selvam also, when we have the special session which Ashish was just mentioning about in the assembly, will also be, we can also understand as to what the state government stand would be. But the final resolution, what they're hoping for, is that a permanent solution or a permanent ordinance on Jallikattu be brought about. Let me also bring to you that at the same time, the neighboring state of Karnataka also is now looking at bringing about that kind of protest because they have similar kind of spots called Kambala, and we are actually seeing voices and the people actually resonating voices across other states that have similar kind of spots.
All right, Rohini, be with us. Ashish, be with us. Playing out some reactions coming in.
Pregnant lady இருக்கா தள்ளி விடுறாயா கீழே இவ்வளோ நாள் அலையலையா நீங்களாம் கை சேர்ந்து எடுத்து சொல்லுங்க சார் என்ன சார் நடக்குதுங்க தமிழ்நாட்டில் நாங்கள் என்ன சார்.
So after a Jallikattu victory, is the state government now losing the plot when it comes to vacating the protesters? One of the allegations coming, a pregnant woman was also forcibly asked to vacate from Marina Beach. Continue tracking this story. Taking a short break, coming right back.